Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing out there in TV land? I thought I'd come and say hello. Just recorded a podcast, so I thought I'd come and say hello. I don't want to do that. I want to do that. Just thought I'd come and see if anyone's about. I've just recorded the 6th of April 1996 edition of WCW Saturday Night to come out on the airwaves around the end of October, I think, even at the beginning of November. I like to get ahead, as I have said numerous times when the wife's not about. I like to do some podcasting so I can get ahead. And it's all good. Just seeing how everyone's doing, seeing if there's anyone about there in TV land. If there is, come and say hello. Come and have a chat. It's going to take a while to do that, so we'll do that. So come and say hello to see how everyone's doing on this fine evening. As you can tell, it's dark. I've got I think the only light is the telly and the screen of the computer. It's 10 to 9 here in jolly old England. It's I think it's pissing it down again. It's been pissing it down all day and very, very windy here in the Norfolk coast. I know some of you out there in TV land are getting hit by a nasty Hurricane Helena over in Florida, and numerous that sort of eastern seaboard are getting hit by a hurricane. So hopefully you are, if you're probably in that, you're probably not watching this, but if you know someone who's being affected, I hope they're okay. I hope everything's good. But yeah, just thought I'd come and say hello. If you're out there, come and have a chat. We can have a little chatteroo and see what's happening in the world. Obviously, we've just, as of 2 days ago, the Mr. McMahon docu-series has hit Netflix. I've watched 2 episodes so far, because the wife wanted to watch it. The wife's not a wrestling fan, but obviously being married to me, she knows about wrestling and everything, so we've watched a couple of them. I also watched the Queen of Villains series. It's not really a documentary, it was like a based on series. I really enjoyed that. Dump Matsumoto and Chigusa Nagaya and Lioness Asuka and those gals kicking ass in Japan. So that was great to watch. Queen of Villains, if you haven't watched it already. I think that was out as of last week. But yeah, so I think Netflix is definitely gathering steam, for getting ready for wrestling. Because obviously their wrestling is going to be on there in 2 months, just under 2 months, just over 2 months. I think January the 6th is the first Raw, but I think January the 1st, sort of the WWE Network goes over to Netflix, which would be great. Can get to watch some sort of old wrestling again on Netflix, or from the network. I haven't had the network for a while. Just couldn't justify the $10.99 or $9.99 or whatever it was, because I wasn't watching it all the time, because I'd probably watch more of my retro wrestling from YouTube, which is obviously, if you want it to be, can be free. So that's coming to Netflix. Is sort of, I think, slowly gearing up for wrestling, because obviously they'll have wrestling. People who know wrestling will go to Netflix, obviously, because they know everything's coming over. But then I think you'll also pick up your what's the word I'm looking for? Part-time viewers. You may be flicking. I guess you'll flick through Netflix and you go, "Oh, wrestling! I remember when Hulk Hogan was a wrestler, or I remember when Shawn Michaels was a wrestler," or you'll get like parents of people my age will go, "Oh, I remember when Luke used to watch wrestling, and is it still the same stuff?" And obviously it won't, the modern stuff won't be, but they will be able to watch. I don't know how quick the transaction's going to be from network to Netflix, but they'll be able to go, "Oh, I can watch wrestling when Luke was watching it in 1990 or 1992 or blah 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 blah." So, but yeah, I think Netflix is definitely starting to get the feel for the wrestling, and hopefully they won't have the same issue, because I think when the network went to Peacock, there was a lot of issues over in the States with not being able to watch the old stuff, because they were piling all the newer stuff onto the Peacock, but then they were sort of leaving the older stuff for ages. And I think a lot of people had issues, not issues, but they wanted to watch, World Class or Mid Atlantic or etc. whatever was on the network, and they couldn't. And then I think it then became seriesed. I think I've heard on GFA with Peter Winston and Keith Langston how they've joked about how Survivor Series 89 is Series 3 Episode 1, and WrestleMania is WrestleMania 7 is Series 7. They've weirdly chaptered everything. That's the word, chaptered everything. So that's all sort of happened. So hopefully that weird transaction won't be happening over when it comes to Netflix. So I'll have to edit that in a minute because I think there's going to be a lot of white noise. I'd recorded, like I said, I just recorded the 6th of April 1996, and there was a lot of white noise in the background, so I'm going to have to try and edit it. I don't know if I can. I think you can get rid of white noise on Audacity, so I may just sort of come and say hello, see how everyone's a diddly do, and there's people watching, but no one's chatting. Come and say hello, folks. Don't be shy. It saves me talking to myself, which is what I do all the time. What's happening in modern wrestling? AEW just have celebrated next week's their 5th anniversary, isn't it? I think they've just had their Grand Slam of Dynamite or something. Nigel McGuinness wrestled against Bryan Danielson. Moxley wrestled Darby Allin. I look at the results on the Thursday morning when I'm on the toilet. I look at see what's happened the night before, but I don't really watch AEW. So I don't watch WWE, but I'm sort of more up to date because of YouTube and stuff. I follow the WWE channel on YouTube. Oh, WWE Vault. I've just noticed. Hold on, let me just have a look. If you don't follow WWE Vault, I would do so, because they've got some great stuff on there. Where have you gone, you bastard? I need to search for it. WWE Vault. So subscribe if you like old stuff. WWE Vault is for you. They've been showing a lot of. They have polls. They'll have a mysterious poll, and then they'll come along and go, this is coming on. So a couple of weeks ago, they had the 27th of August edition of WCW, 27th of August 1994 edition of WCW Saturday Night. They also show a lot of weird matches. So they've had a month ago they showed Drew McIntyre showing he presented a never before seen 2007 Nasty Boys match. They've had Takeshi Morishima tryout matches. They've had Blitzkrieg versus Juventud Guerrera. That came out today. Spring Stampede 1999. They've had a 2003 Legion of Doom tryout match. They've had really loads of just random sort of cool stuff. And then coming up very soon, I think upcoming it says, they're showing the Omni in Atlanta from February the 1st, 1987. Dusty Rhodes, please don't shout at me. So that's going to be, the event is presented in the most complete form possible. The Ric Flair vs Barry Windham main event could not be found at this time. We'll be looking in the WWE Vault, and should we find it, we'll post it here. So what is on that card then? What is on that card? February the 1st, 1987. February the 1st, 1987. So let's go to cage match. Good old cage match. 1987. I need to go down here, don't I? Basically. February the 1st. Come on. February the 1st. So is that going to be Mid-Atlantic? Is that going to be Mid-Atlantic from the 1st? Mid-Atlantic. So that's Mid-Atlantic from the 1st. So that show is potentially gonna have Bill Dundee versus Dutch Mantel, Bob Armstrong versus Jimmy Garvin, Arn Anderson versus Brad Armstrong, Tully Blanchard versus Wahoo McDaniel, Robert Gibson and Ronnie Garvin versus the Midnight Express, Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff versus Ivan Koloff and Vladimir Petrov, and the Road Warriors versus Manny Fernandez and Rick Rude. And then obviously the main event is not going to be shown there. That is going to be Ric Flair going to a time limit draw with Barry Windham. So that's an okay card. The matches aren't long at all. Bill Dundee versus Dutch goes 5. Bob Armstrong versus Jimmy Garvin goes 30 seconds. Arn versus Brad goes 8 minutes. That'll probably be a decent match. Nikita and Dusty versus Ivan and Vladimir goes 15 seconds. Road Warriors versus Manny Fernandez and Rick Rude's probably okay. But yeah, so that's being shown on the WWE Vault today. So like I said, give it a subscribe. What else have they got on there? Come on. No, you're going to be a bastard now, aren't you? Come on. So go there. So we've got for 403,000 subscribers. Videos. What else have they got? They're showing the Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Triple H from WrestleMania blah de blah. They're showing New Day versus the Usos from 2017. Triple H versus Rob Van Dam from Unforgiven 2002. They had a Dump Matsumoto and Crush Gals in the WWE sort of playlist. Sabu's Greatest Moments, WWE Top 10. John Cena and Sting versus Seth Rollins and Big Show. So they got like a mixture of stuff. Mostly, they have some older stuff. But they've got like unseen motion capture footage of 1996's In Your House video game. So they bring out some stuff that obviously everyone's probably seen, but then they also release some stuff that sort of hasn't been seen for a while. So yeah, I'd definitely give it a go in, a look, especially if they're going to start releasing old stuff like this from the Omni stuff that they're going to be showing. So yeah. But yeah, yeah, there's really much else to say. Really. Like I said, hopefully everyone is well wherever you are. Don't forget, you don't have to watch this live. You can watch this as on the channel. The YouTube channel is basically going to be redundant soon. I might still do a few lives, but me adding content is going to be done basically from the end of October, from when Memphis goes from 1984 to 1985. I recorded the last one actually the other day. When do we finish? October the 26th, I believe. Manage videos. Because then I'm going to be using other people's YouTube channels to watch the 1985 stuff. So October the 26th will be the last video uploaded. Because I'm then going from 1984 to 1985 to watch 1985. I've got to watch other people's videos. So they'll, as I say in the show, there'll always be a link in the description for those guys' channels. But yeah, my source, I messed up my source a while ago. If you remember, I can't remember when it was now. I used to get all of my stuff from Crispy Lettuce, from his Google Drive. You pay for the privilege to get the Google Drive, and then there was a whole load of stuff. He also did a load of Patreon stuff, and I downloaded something that I had every right to download, but then I uploaded it to YouTube, which I had no right to do. He then found the guy that gave it. It was from like Knoxville from like 1979. Really rare stuff. The guy that gave him that footage found out that I'd posted it, so he got annoyed with him, Crispy Lettuce. Crispy Lettuce then got very annoyed with me, and then like cut me off. Basically, my feeling was, why should something so rare be monetized? Why shouldn't it be put out to the masses? But no one saw my point, so I kind of screwed myself out of sort of good footage, so I'm having to use now everyone's. I'm going to start using so the stuff on 1985 is going to be on YouTube, but I will put the links into other people's channels so people can go and watch their stuff. So yeah, I kind of shot myself in the foot really, but like I said, I think something that rare shouldn't be monetized. It should be seen for them. Everyone should see it. Why should you have to pay a premium to watch that kind of thing? But I suppose you do with other networks. So yeah. I can see his point. It's one of those things. But yeah, so that's happening October the 20th. So basically a month's time, we'll be going from 1984 to 1985 Memphis. I haven't recorded any 85 stuff yet, but I've recorded the last of the 84. And then in November, the Newhouse Weeklies finish, and we will be crossing the Mid-Atlantic. So that's going to be... so I've recorded the pilot episode. It came out today on the Place to Be. It came out today. So you can give that a listen. Just my style of podcasting, but we'll be doing the Mid-Atlantic territory. First episode was the 9th of September 1981. Everything I'm using is coming from YouTube. Again, links so you can watch it and stuff. But I think it's from the WWE Network, but it's been uploaded to YouTube by people, because at the beginning of the show you got the WWE warning where it says, presented in its finest form, and then the the show beginning theme is the sort of classic WWE dub that isn't the real one. But yeah, I think that's it really. No one's about, so I've waffled on enough. I shall now edit my podcast. And then in about an hour, I shall go and pick the wife up from work. And then in about 8 hours' time, take her back to work. Saturday morning / early hours of the afternoon by myself. So I shall be recording podcasts once again, once I've done a few little bits outside. That's what I do. Instead of just sitting around just watching shite on the telly, I just podcast. As of this point, I think I'm about a month ahead, which is good in a way, but it's also bad because if something happens in real life to somebody, I then can't pay proper respect to him, kind of thing. Like when Kevin Sullivan died, I was ahead of the show that came out when I was mentioned about it would have been a few weeks after he passed away. So I did do when Sid died, I did do a Sid episode that. That's probably what I would do if anything was to happen to anyone major. I would just do a episode purely for them, kind of like what I did with Sid. I think I did one for Terry when Terry died, a funk. I think I've done numerous ones when someone sort of passed away. I've sort of done a special episode, just sort of, and then integrated that into the week's drops on the Place to Be. So just sort of emailed Scott and gone, Scott, I'm doing this tonight. Can you stick it in sometime soon? Then it's still relevant, kind of thing. Because obviously, if you do it and then it doesn't get put in for 3 weeks, it's then not relevant, kind of thing. And people go, "What? Oh yeah, fuck it." Like people remember that the person died, kind of thing. So yeah, but that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm going to love you and leave you. Enjoy the rest of your evening or afternoon or morning or tomorrow, wherever you may be in the world, wherever you may be in the Lord of the Dance, said he. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a nice rest of your evening, and I'm sure I shall be around very soon to chat to you some more. Until then.